Hello, this is a video that's going to take you through a quick start for using the Command Training Center. In particular, I'm going to show you how you log in and set up your users, how you use the SimCloud for simulation storage, then how you run an exercise, both as the instructor or controller, which is a web app, meaning it's through a browser, and I'm going to show you what it looks like as a participant through the SimsUshare app. Let's get started. So if I open a browser and go to ctc.simsushare.com, enter in the email address and password that we provided you, and press login. This is the home screen for the CTC. You can check out your running multiplayer exercises, your simulations that you've loaded. This is our SimCloud. You can also, if you're the administrator for the account, change your users, add users, modify users. So let's start there. When I go to users, it shows you I have one user, which is Jonathan, my first user, and the user level key here is admin. There are two levels of users. An admin can actually run multiplayer exercises, create and edit users, upload simulations, delete simulations, whereas an organizer, another level, and I'll go here to create another person here. I might say this is going to be the captain or so at my fire department. Let's say this person is just an organizer. So that means they only can run exercises and view simulations. They can't create users or delete or change simulations. So here, if you wanted to create some users, you just go into the user tab, enter their email address, put their actual name, password, and choose the level that you want. You as the admin can actually create other admins as well. So let's say if I had created this person, when I want to go back and modify them, it will also let me delete that user. So let's go into right now into our SimCloud to see how you can view simulations in your cloud account as well as bring them in. So by default, I have one simulation in here called ISO in action. If I want to click on it and click preview, a window will show up, and it will then show you your simulation running in a little window here, and I can move around and do the stuff that I can do in the simulation. This preview window is still not finished in terms of all the effects and everything, but that's what we're going to be developing during this beta testing period for the CTC. So now I can add a simulation here by uploading it into the browser, but the easier way to do that to have your simulations is to go into the SimsUshare app that you need to download as a new version. If you go into either edit or play and you go to the menu, you'll notice there's now download as well as upload simulations. If I click on upload, I connect to the sim repository, the SimsUshare SimCloud, and you can buy your own SimCloud as well in the future. So that's why this can have multiple entries. I hit connect. It'll ask me for my credentials, so I enter my username and password. It stores the last good password that's been used. I hit OK, and now see on my device I have all these scenarios in my repository on SimCloud. I can list the sims. There's only one, ISO in action. So what I can do is click on a scenario that I want to upload. I click greater than, and that says now it's going to be sent over to the repository. I can put multiple scenarios in simulations into that. If I click on it and click greater than, now notice here it's saying there's a sim conflict because it already exists on the SimCloud in your account. So I can either overwrite it, which is to update with the current version from SimsUshare, or I can copy it to a new sim. So I'm going to just cancel out over here, and I'm just going to worry about uploading residential. I hit start. It'll say packaging, transferring, and in a moment it will say transfer complete. Now if I am back over at my SimCloud here, and I'll just could refresh, but let me go to simulations, you'll notice residential is there. And you'll see that once I click this, you'll see it's actually going to play that scenario. So we've seen how to create users, how to upload simulations, update simulations. Let's see now how to create and run an exercise. I go to exercise. I said notice there are no exercises running. They would show up because you can run multiple exercises with different users at the same time. I hit create. I give a name of the exercise. The participants, the only ones who are going to see that. I'll just call it house 1. I'll give it a code, and I'll just say it's house 1 like that. And I'll say what scenario, what simulation should I use as the basis of the exercise. I'm going to click ISO. I hit create, and now I'm in what's called the exercise staging area. This is where participants will come in. And let me go here and show you. If I'm over here, one of the menu items, in addition to upload in the play, in the play area, is start CTC multiplayer mode. So again, I'm just going to go back over here if you kind of missed how we got here. If you are new at play, you hit play. You go to the menu and you say start CTC player mode. I choose my server, hit connect, and let's see, this was the last good exercise. The exercise code was house 1, and my unit name is going to be engine 1. So I hit join, and now you'll notice on my dashboard over here with the instructor, it's saying engine 1 is ready. Engine 1 now has the scenario loaded, and I'm actually going to now show you if I were to create another window, and remember you get to your new window by going here and clicking new window, I could actually have 2 participants running at the same time. Play, I go here, 2 or more. I connect, it will ask me, there's my exercise code, but I don't want to be engine 1, I want to be here battalion 1. This would be, again, you're typically not going to run multiple participants off the same computer. This would be good though for your testing. I hit join and waiting for the controller to start. Now if we actually go back here, you'll see we have now engine 1 and battalion 1 ready. When I hit start, now if I go back over, you'll see they now enter the exercise. And if I go back here to show you what this is like, you see both of them have entered the exercise. Now if I go back to the exercise here, you'll see there's a timer that gets started, 13, 14, 15, and notice now you have 2 tokens, engine 1 and battalion 1 on side D. You'll also notice if you scroll down, you've got preview windows, which we're going to discuss. Basically the way that you place units is you just click, so let's say I want to move engine 1 to side A, click engine 1 and I just drag to side A. And if I now look over and see what engine 1 is looking at, that engine 1's at side A. Notice that battalion 1's at side D, so you see those are different views. Now, if I actually move engine 1, let's say I have arrows, and I'm going to move engine 1 over to side B, when I click the arrow here, you'll notice the engine 1 token jumped over to the location there, side B. So, your dashboard here is going to track where your different units move. Now you can actually see kind of a preview of what the locations look like. You can just click on a location header and you'll notice it gets turned into that preview window, shows you what it would look like. You could also click on a unit and now notice it says following battalion 1 at side D. So what that means is that now if battalion 1 moves around, and what I'm going to be doing now, let's go and have battalion 1 move around. I'll move battalion 1 here. Let's say, so watch the preview here. If battalion 1 moves to A, notice how this preview window now shows you what battalion 1 is actually looking at. And of course, you see battalion 1 is now at A. If I want to move multiple units at the same time, I click on multi-select, and now I can select units, battalion 1 and engine 1, and if I now when they're both white like this, I click and drag, move them to side D, and they both move there. And that you can see when I actually go, now he's at side D, and I also have there engine 1 and battalion 1. Notice this is engine 1, this is battalion 1. So that shows you about how to move units around, and of course the units can move by themselves. The other preview window here says your private view. This is for you to just move around wherever you'd like if you wanted to preview what locations would look like. So no one else is seeing this. This is just for you as the instructor. And lastly, the communication chat here gives you a little transcript timestamp by the time of the scenario, which you can pause as well if you want to talk to your participants about something. I can go here and say communication chat all. I'm going to say something like, I'm going to tell report. Well, I'm going to say here, hello from instructor. And so when I click this, now you'll notice on these windows you'll see a little message show up there. So this is how you can tell a unit to do something or to report something, whatever you'd like. Now you can either send it to all, or you can say send to specific units. It kind of drops out of the window here, but you could send messages to specific units. That's really all that you've got here. And again, here's the pause if you wanted to pause. And when you pause it, of course, you'll see over the smoke, all the animations stop. And you can always resume it, or you can reset it back to 0, in which case it would be paused at 0. The key thing here, though, is when you're finished with the exercise, you're all done, you really want to press End Exercise, because the exercises continue to run even if you move away from this page. Notice I'm now at Users. If I look at my participants, they're still going. They're still in the exercise, even though there is no formal instructor. If I go back to Exercises, I can go here, and you see now there's House 1 running. I click House 1, and when I join, now I'm back exactly where I started, and I actually can clearly move people around, see what they actually do. So End Exercise is how you end the exercise for everyone. You want to do that, otherwise your exercises will continue to run. Now similarly, if I were to go back, I could actually, to the exercises, let's say I was on a different computer, I could actually have a second or third instructor also join the exercise. Maybe I've got a lot of participants and I need different people to handle different sets of users. So you can actually use this exercises. You can open up multiple browsers if you have more than one instructor to control that same exercise. So finally, what I'm going to do here is to kind of clean up. I'm going to say end the exercise, and that's all done. And you'll notice on the participants, it says the exercise was terminated, and it finishes. That gives you not a brief, but somewhat run through the CTC to get started. There's a lot more details. We discuss the details in the more detailed SimsUshare Academy class on the CTC. One of the critical things, how to report feedback. Please visit simsushare.com/CTC to see what's been reported during the test period, how to contribute your feedback, or just email or call us directly. Thank you very much for your time. Look forward to hear what you're going to be doing with it, and hope you find it really interesting and useful.